Anybody out there yet? Or am I early? No, I think I'm on time. I hadn't been up long. There's my boy Ben coming in the door. Good morning, folks. We out there yet?
Huh?
I'm doing a live.
Oh.
Good morning there. Yeah. Hey, Ben, you bring my glasses there beside my chair?
Okay.
I don't have no glasses, so. You don't need glasses to drink coffee, but you do need glasses to see what folks are saying. Thank you, buddy. She is taking off with Kim, naturally.
Last minute Christmas shopping.
Their last minute shopping. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. And right now. Good morning, Ronnie. Donnie's still in the hospital. We're all praying for her. Right now, I want to tell you guys Merry Christmas, okay? Merry Christmas. I'll have a video out tomorrow morning. Actually, I already started it. I just hadn't finished it. But then I'll tell you again. But for those watching the live, I want to tell you right now. And listen, Wednesday morning is Christmas Day. I don't know for a fact we'll have a live because I don't know what the activities are going to be here, you know. So I'm not going to say we're not. Good morning there, Vera. I'm not going to say we're not. I'm just going to say I'm not for sure. So if you tune in and I'm not here, don't panic, okay? Don't say, well, G got rid of him. Just don't know. For sure I'd be back on Friday, and I may be here Wednesday. If nothing else, maybe just jump on here and tell everybody Merry Christmas. Hope y'all have the best ever. And then, get back to whatever's going on here. Don't know what's going to be happening. I think, Ben, we have dinner at your mom's on Christmas, right?
Oh, we do.
Yes?
We do, yes.
Okay. So we'll be having Christmas dinner at Tina's. I thought we did. I think that's where we always go on Christmas. So anyway, we had a good day yesterday. We had lunch at Kim's. Tell you guys, Sue says hi, Ben. Lady named Sue Chapman says hi.
Oh, hello.
Ben's in the other room watching TV. But anyway, first let's go back to the morning me and the boys and I went to have breakfast. It was fun. Cousin called me. He used to do that. I told y'all before, we used to do it all the time. Dot, you better get busy, sweetie. Cuz called me and said, let's have breakfast like we used to in the old days. And I said, yeah, that'd be great. So anyway, he'd called Kenny also, and we all met at Cracker Barrel on him. And it was nice. In my video y'all saw this morning, I ain't never seen anybody eat as much as Kenny. Maybe that's why Cuz's wife stopped cooking for us. It's Kenny's fault. All right, that boy can eat. Well, he's big too. Hatari saw the video good. I'm glad you liked it. We had a good time just sitting there talking, and some things we talked about. Couldn't talk about on camera, but Kenny's loud. He's just a loud person, not like Cuz and I, which was kind of, you can hear Kenny all over that place. So we had constantly tell him, shh, Kenny, don't get into that. Don't go there, Kenny, don't go there. He's a lot of fun, though. Anyway, we had fun. Lady comes around and takes the orders. And y'all saw what all they ordered. They scrambled eggs and hams. Big old slices of ham, huge slices. It was good. I ordered either three, I think it's 3 fried eggs, but I said they got to be hard fried. They got to be hard fried. She said, you don't want no running, no egg yet. I said, not a drop, not a drop. And they was perfect. But we had a good time. And then I come back by, y'all saw Cousin's shop. He's got a nice layout in his shop. that was his carport, and then he walled it in and extended his carport on out, but he walled that in and made his shop. And he gave me that bow. If y'all saw that bow, and it's out there at the shops. I'll show it to you again one day. My dad had one like that, big old wooden shallow bow that he mixed his dough in to make his bread. And he had on the cabinet, it had like a little drawer, it's a flat. Hey, bud, I'll start your breakfast here in a minute. Come here. Come look at the camera. Tell everybody good morning. Come on. You look nice.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Come on, Randy.
No, I do not.
Look at the camera and say, good morning.
Good morning, Cameron.
And tell them, good morning, camera. And say, I love my PawPaw.
I love my PawPaw.
Okay. I have to bribe him with a breakfast. I'll fix it in a few minutes, okay? And Connor's upstairs, so he'll be coming down wanting breakfast too. Anyway, yeah, the shop is really set up nice. That bow, my dad had one, he made his bow, and he had a drawer that you pulled out. It looked like a drawer, but it's actually just a flat board, like a cutting board almost. And that's where he'd roll his dough on. Well, Kim has that. She said, Dad, I saved that out of the old house. We don't know what happened to the old bow. So Kim, when my dad passed, all I stayed with my mom, I know, but although I don't think she ever made biscuits after that. But anyway, at some point, someone got that bow. She gave it to them, whatever. I don't know. The house was given to Debbie, my niece. My mom and them basically raised her. She's like almost a daughter, so they give her the house. And because we all had a house and stuff. And then Debbie was married, and this guy wanted to go over and remodel. And it needed some work, but not remodeling. It needed some foundation work. And my brother and I had talked about it, man, if we could afford it, just buy the old house like it was, just like it was. And I'll tell him, Peggy, and keep it like that, and just go down there and have coffee sometimes or have dinners there sometimes. Keep it just exactly like Mom had it. Good morning, good morning, sweetie. But anyway, Debbie let this guy come in, tore some of the floors all out. I guess trying to get to the underneath instead of coming from the outside. Then he decided it's too much work, and he just left it. So that's why Kim bought it from Debbie. And so then we went in, put all the floors back in it, and she had guys come and jack it up like professionals, and you get it pretty well leveled out. And all that old stuff, some of that stuff was gone by then, where they better throw that stuff away. When he was over there doing that kind of stuff, that old boy may just throw it away. He's no longer in the picture. She sent him packing. But so it may got thrown away. He may have took it, and I don't know where it may have went. But yeah, that's what Cuz made of bows like Pops had, my old dad. All right. Okay, so Vanessa's telling Black Diamond you can fold clothes, watch TV at the same time or video. Yes, you can. I found a lot of entertainment on YouTube. I like watching a lot of wilderness shows. Excuse me. And there's a ton of them on there. And I like, and then naturally I tune in on North Carolina and Tennessee over where all that, Georgia, where they had all that damage. I like to tune in. There's lots of videos there about all that. So I tune in there. We'd look over there every night looking for updates, how things are going. But 1 second. Okay. But there's a lot of entertainment on there without watching movies. I went out to my camper yesterday afternoon. She was watching ball games, and I said, I thought I'd watch me a movie or something, and I took my little coffee pot out there, and I made it. It holds 3 cups. I made 3 cups of coffee, me and my boys. and they wrestling the whole time on the bed behind me, you know, and you can't concentrate with all that going on. And now and then Buster rapping my back to tell me everything's okay. But we had a great time. But I watched Sam Elliott, about half of it. I'll finish it today, maybe, just some time. And Quick of the Dead, I think it's called. And he kind of rescues these old folks traveling across country from these bad guys. Good show. But I've seen it before. And G showed me something last. I'm going to show it to you real quick. I got some things today for my video, I think, for Wednesday, I think. I'm going to do some stuff out there at the shop this morning. And I got some gifts out there I want to open and get them out. I don't want to hold them all week. But this came here. It's from Amanda Gilbert, okay, from Rome, Georgia. And it's you call it homemade, I guess, a homemade card. And it's hard to see, you will be able to see the writing because it's set. Now read it here real quick. May your family be blessed and have a very Merry Christmas and have a very blessed New Year. Jesus is the reason for the season. Yes, ma'am. To PawPaw, Gene, Mara, and Gigi and family, from my family to yours, with love, Daniel, Amanda Gilbert, and Amanda's mom, Joan West. It was drawn by Amanda Gilbert. And on the back side, she's, it's hard to see, it's on black paper, but that's the baby Jesus in the stable, and the wise men, and the angel above. That's really pretty. Thank you so much. Anyway, Jesus got this. It comes. She brought it in the. Sometimes the mail comes, they bring it in the house, and I don't see it till you, and she points it out, lays it out for me. You know, so that's packages. I'm the one who usually goes to the packages. Sometimes other folks will check the packages and move them around, and you say, uh-oh. Yeah, I supposed to got something today and it ain't here. Oh, I got it. And sometimes these deliveries say delivered. And you go and it's not there. And then people panic. And then a day or two later, they deliver it. So I think maybe, I'm just guessing, that they're not supposed to take those trucks back in empty when they turn their paperwork in. So they just write delivered on everything, and there might still be stuff in the truck for the next day. I'm just guessing. I don't know if that's the way they do it or not. Sounds good. Yeah. Okay, Peggy Irvin. Vanessa, I hate being cold. Hey, it's cold here this morning. I bet it's 40 degrees. Now, I bet it got down to 30s last night, but it was cold. It's cold to us. You guys up there. Now, listen. I was sent a little, and I think, I'm not sure if Karen sent it or not. Somebody sent me this little thing where this boy pours water out of a teapot, so cold, and it freezes going to the cup, like a big icicle stick strap. Is that true? Could that be true? I don't know. If it got like that here. I have seen pictures or videos where people throw water up in the air and it would freeze. And I said, no, not for me. 27 degrees in Knoxville. Oh my goodness. 30. 57 in Tampa. Yeah, that's about what we're going to have today. Southwest Idaho. I didn't get the farm. Lewis Farm, I believe. Out there. 29, and all of a sudden, it goes slowly, all of a sudden it goes fast. 18, Atari said 18, 28 in Washington, 24 in Ohio, 30 in Wisconsin, 36 in Caldwell, Idaho. I think it's, Idaho, ID. I missed that part. Plum Grove Elementary, and they just telling us what ID stood for. Idaho? Ben corrected me. It's Idaho.
No, you were right. You said Idaho.
Ben could have been my teacher in school. 2 in Pennsylvania. Oh no, 3 now, but that says up to a balmy 3. Well, not balmy to me. Old Bill would have my old heater over there stoked full of wood, but now if it's 3 degrees, and I'd have busted water lines everywhere. Because here in the South, people don't get used to that kind of weather, so they don't bury them water lines deep, and they don't insulate real well, outdoors around the stuff they should, because sometimes all we got to do is an outdoor faucet, just drip it, just let it drip. And sometimes we'll wrap them up, You can buy the insulation pipe and stuff to do them right properly, or you can just take pack an old blanket around them, wrap an old blanket around them, an old carpet or something like that, and it'll protect them, and just leave the nozzle barely dripping, and it'll work, That's kind of here. But I was over at my G's dad's once, and he lived in Northern California for a while, where you got cold and snow and all that stuff, and he was digging water lines, and we drove over to visit, and I see him sitting there in the shade, out there, and he's digging by hand. I walked in and said, "Pops, what you got going here?" And he said, "Oh, I'm digging a water line from the well." He had a rent house, over to the rent house, and he was this deep. "Whoa, Pops, why you got to go so deep?" "Well, I don't want it to freeze." "Well, Pops, if it freezes that deep here, we're all in trouble. Our water lines might be like soap, Sometimes probably not that deep." Anyway, I now try to see how we all doing here this morning. All right, Vanessa Marie, 32 in Southwest Michigan. How you doing, Mary? Yeah, I think we're gonna have some rain come in tomorrow. I think. And good morning there, Reba. How you doing, sweetie? Good morning, Dawn. I think Randy lost her duck or something. I'm trying to see what happened. I bought Lex some assorted, I guess they call them assorted ducks. Like 10, all but he's little bitty. And there was like 1 or 2 of this, 1 or 2 of that. The ones I liked the best, I think they were called some kind of Indian runner. These dudes stood almost straight up, tall little ducks. And but over time they took them down to the sanctuary, and when they got older, and over time, things was catching them now and then. But that was years ago. But I think little Indian runners, I think that's what they call it. They little tall duck. They stood almost straight up and run straight up. Cute little duck. Atari had icicles on a car. All right, William. 31st, your last shift. I know you're going to enjoy your retirement. Steve Chapman over here in Tennessee just retired, and he's got a wood shop that he hasn't been able to use. I guess similar to Cuz or something like that or whatever. And he's fixing to get into it and get it all cleaned out and start using it because he likes doing woodworking and stuff, and that's going to be awesome. If you have a hobby, and me is just out here in my animals, so I knew what my retirement was going to be, But you can't help but look forward to it, just not getting up, going to work every day, punching the clock, You get up, and if you're a little bit slow, it's okay. If it's slow getting out, or you want to drink that extra cup of coffee, you can do it. I was thinking about William retiring at Georgia State Patrol. You know, I did some similar stuff, and sometimes we had to work by ourselves. You know, and you had to stop a car, just for instance. If you go into somebody's house and you know what they're wanted for, then you can be prepared for a little bit more. But when you, depend on what they're bad about, when you pull over no car, you don't know them people in that car. You don't know what's in their mind. You don't know if they're bad or going to get bad or don't have nothing to lose. You know, that officer don't know that. He just got to try to be prepared best he can. So I know you're glad to get out of there. I know you are. Yeah, congratulations. Congratulations. William, oh, okay, he has cows and grows 150 acres of corn. Boy, oh boy, I hope you picked corn better than what we picked it. We grew up picking corn. We didn't have near that much, probably 20, 30 acres of corn. That's what we fed our animals back before the hay days, before we started buying hay. And my dad had an old tractor. And yes, state troopers have a dangerous job. Yes, they do. Tara, they really do. Ronnie says, thanks for all the prayers. I didn't get to read all of his, but I'll be talking to Ronnie throughout the day. I think they ruled out the heart issue, or the main cause of Donnie's problem, but that could be ruled out because of prayers too. They work. Anyway, we pick corn by hand, walk down the rows and picking them over ears of corn off, throw them in that trailer. And we had a person to drive the tractor, my dad or my mom or my brother or I or my sister. Be like 5 of us out there. One driving and one on each side. 4 of us, and one behind. And the one walking behind the little trailer is what they call the down row. So the trailer covered two rows of corn, and it pushed them over. So you'd bent over constantly, but the end of the row would rotate, so nobody got stuck all day long, bent over. On the sides wasn't too bad. You're just doing 2 rows and throwing the thing. When we get it full, we go to the barn and throw it in the cribs. A lot of work. It was 7, 8, 10 years old. It worked. Yes, corn grew all over this place. It grew all the way down to, well, it started right there at my dad's house, and it went all the way down the road, along the edge of the road, and all the way back to here. Where all these houses are now, the sanctuary and all that, was cornfields, okay? One big cornfield. And yes, ma'am, thank you for that for we. Yeah, continue praying for Donnie. Thank you, Reba. William's gonna buy some goats. There you go, buddy. There you go. Get you one and raise it on a bottle. You talk about a buddy. It'll be your buddy for life. I got 3 of them out here. Actually, Sophie raised on a bottle too. So I got, and Milky, so I got 5 goats out here in this pen that raised on bottles. And those 3 little ones, Baby and Ginger and Mary Ann, you can't beat a better little pet. Them little guys will follow you forever. They'll go everywhere you go. And you sit down and Baby wants to get up in your lap. She's already weighed 75 pounds, so won't get up in your lap. Their little goats are cute, and they're fun. Building some things to jump up on and play on. I got that old boat out there. They love that boat. It makes noise, and they run down that boat, you know, picking up, bouncing up on it. They love that boat. And the minute we put that boat in there, they was on that boat playing. That's why it's there. So it may look a little junky, but they love it. Yeah. Thank you there, Diane. On the Longhorns, yeah, you know, and Miracle too. You raise a cow on a bottle, and they don't realize as they get bigger, they're bigger. And thankfully, Miracle don't have horns. If she did, like Kim's Molly down there has horns. They don't mean to hurt you, but they turn their head around, you know, them horns, you know, and they can. You got to be real careful. And Molly likes to run long, but Miracle will too. And like Ivy, get behind you and butt you and make you walk faster. Well, I don't walk fast, Ivy. I don't walk fast. Speed up, Papa. Speed up. I was out there last night. I went to close the gate, and he's walking behind me, butting me. Now stop it! You're tailgating. Tailgate. Yeah, but a goat, their goats are also, especially now, just a word of advice, especially if they don't have horns. They're a little bit easier to deal with. Now, horns, you can got a handle if you got a horn, but goats without horns are not going to get hung up in the fence. And the Lord, goats will do it. They'll get hung in the fence, and they can't get out to somebody else because their horns go back and their head goes through, you know, the squares, and then the wire flips over behind them horns. So they can't come back. You got to stretch that wire around or cut the wire to get their heads back out. But goats without horns, a lot easier to me to deal with. Good morning, Vera. $28 Medicare will take care of it. I'm trying to see what she's talking about. Anyway, let's get back to what you guys are talking about here. Good morning from Alabama. Good morning, Secretary. Catching up. Brittany says she's late to live. We just sat there visiting with each other. Karen Owen. Good, very good morning. I do it, sweetie. Karen, I think you're the one sent me that where he's pouring that water. I think. And I think I sent you back, is this real? You know, that's too cold. That's too cold. When you start pouring water and it freezes in midair, that's too cold. Huntsville, Alabama. Kentucky. Sweet home. No, that's Alabama. Sweet home, Alabama. Yeah. What's that song about old home Kentucky or something like that? That's where my folks, well, I think where they actually started, but that's where they're at now. Come here. Ain't none of this freezing, man. Stay warm, sweetie. I don't know. We was talking yesterday about retiring, you know, and I forget who it was telling us yesterday at lunch. You know, when I had worked other places, you know, sheriff's department places, and I had enough Social Security quarters built up Social Security to draw also Social Security. Oh yeah, old Kentucky home. There you go. Draw Social Security. Full amount that I that was before. But then I left that and went into teaching where they don't take out Social Security and you pay into a state retirement, which is okay, pretty good. But when you get ready to retire, this is what kind of makes you mad. You see these politicians up there wanting more money or wanting better benefits. When you get ready to retire and you go over and you get to the age you can draw your Social Security, you don't get it all. They keep back almost half. And then you got to pay out of that for your Social Security insurance, which is not that bad for us. Yeah, everybody has a different, a different, you know, supplement, I guess what you're gonna call it. I have a pretty good one, I think, but pays for most everything. I don't think I have a co-pay unless it's to a specialist, and most of my medication is paid for, unless it's something special. Some things are different rules, I guess. But anyway, Vanessa's talking to Jackie there, sweet Jackie. What about sweet PawPaw? Don't even say it, Ronnie. Don't even go there. I got a nice Christmas card from Ronnie, to be honest with you. I was surprised when I opened it up. I was surprised it didn't, say things bad to me. But it was a real nice Christmas card. But then he sent Dan a little baby doll. And Dan's all excited. He gets his package. Just tear it open and see what he got. Like a kid in the candy store. A little baby doll. What's this, Dad? Oh, I don't know, bud. Yes, that's Ronnie. Okay. Okay, bye, man. She has to go back to work. Take care, sweetie. She only has a few minutes before she has to go to work. Okay, Gail, your son's patrol officer? Yes. Just pray for him. Hope you be careful. I think. I worked at the sheriff's office. We had to do everything. I mean, we was, rural county. So you did, if there's any patrol needed, you did that. But we had to work every case that come across that was assigned to us, whether it be a burglary or, I only had a few rapes, I guess, the years I worked there. And that one kidnapping. But you work these things yourself, and if you need help, you call for backups or whatever, but this assigned to you, that's what you did. Homicides, whatever it may be, and suicides, everything. And you worked it. And from the minute you got that call from the dispatcher or wherever, you was assigned that case. It was your baby until it's through the court system. But I think one of the more dangerous things is when you're out there stopping them cars and stuff, because like I said a while ago, you don't know what them people are, what they think, or what they're going to do. They know what they're going to do. You don't. You go to someone's house that's wanted for a certain crime, they know they're wanted, you know they're wanted. And you're a little bit more prepared, and you may even take some help with you to make sure. I was telling y'all about Bree. Her husband, Laramie. I worked with his dad, his grandpa was a state trooper, and our officers all together. There's on one side of the office and was on the other, dispatcher in between us. Secretary of dispatcher worked for all of us. And his grandpa worked there, and I had no idea back then that his name was Earl. Earl and I would have grandkids that would get married. Now, Earl's passed away now. He would be so excited, I think, to know all that. I went out once to serve a murder warrant. And I knew the lady. I knew her, and she had killed a guy. And I went out in another county, and I just had the warrant. I went to pick her up. And I was there a little bit, maybe longer than what Earl was out on patrol. But you got to appreciate this. And he heard me when I went out of the car and what I was there for. And like I say, you're on your own. The stuff you just on your own. And a rural county, it works like that. And I was there for a little bit longer because I let her make a phone call each morning to come watch her kids. So I was there a little bit longer than, and Earl didn't know that. And when we did come out the front door, he just laid across that patrol car, that state trooper car, with a shotgun. He ready, he may come out without me. He gonna get him, I guess. But I thanked him for it. But I backed him up on a few things too. Good man. Okay. There, an old picture of PawPaw. I don't know if there's some old pictures around. I guess you don't want to see them. You don't want to see them. Poteet, Texas. Okay. It's a deputy. Poteet, Texas. He probably knew a lot of tales too, getting out in rural areas and stuff. Well, thank you. Ronnie, you see that? Good looking. Ronnie, I can see him now shaking his head. You cannot listen to anything Ronnie tells you. I've experienced that already. Boy, Kentucky, 30 minutes from Maysville. My folks, I say my folks, lived in up Gallatin County, I think Warsaw, places like that. My great grandpa, I guess it was a sheriff in Gallatin County, all back in the 1800s, right after the Civil War, for a few years, and then he had a farm, and he sold his farm and moved to Arkansas, and then his son, which is my grandpa, he come down to Texas working on the railroads. That's how we got here. And funny thing was, they went after he married my grandma, and his dad was getting, and mom was getting older. You from Gallatin County? Awesome. I'd love to go there. Never have been there. Used to works in Warsaw. That is so neat. Oh, I'm meeting folks from the old neighborhood. Yeah, they had a farm outside of Warsaw there somewhere, and he was his office was in Warsaw. When he was sheriff, I'll tell you this quick story. There was an old fella lived there in town that did handiwork for people, and everybody liked him. And you got to think back, this is right after the Civil War. The old fellow was a black gentleman, but everybody liked him. He worked for different places, all up down the roads, whatever. But he, and I guess he saved his money or kept whatever he made, But these two people invited him in for supper, and so I'm guessing they thought he'd have money, and they poisoned him. Yeah, and cause later and told folks, he'd eat supper with him, but he had something wrong. He died. Well, when the coroner, true story here, the coroner was checking him. He says, told my great grandpa, who was a sheriff, great grandpa, I get it right here, man. Says, I think he was poisoned because he said I could smell arsenic or something left, some kind of an odor. And so they did an examination. Sure enough, he'd been poisoned. So they went out to the house and questioned these folks. They found the arsenic, and they had admitted it. Yeah, they did it and robbed him. So they bring him and put him in jail, waiting trial. That night, a knock on the door at the jail, and the old jailer, older fellow, He stayed in the jail at night. Goes, open the door, see who it is. Vigilantes. Vigilantes. And he couldn't tell. They all had masks. There was a bunch of them on horses. Yeah, that's how it was back in those days. But he could tell there was blacks and whites because the skin color, their hands and stuff. They were together. And they planned on doing justice. They took those two folks out of the jail. Y'all probably don't want to hear this, do you? Y'all don't want to hear stuff. But they did. And they hung them outside of town. And they locked the jailer up. The next morning, my great-great-grandpa comes to work. His jailer's locked up. His prisoners are gone. They have to go out and looking, trailing his horse tracks. Then they found him. Anyway, okay. Ronnie, you are just jealous because Papa's got all these women. Oh, Ronnie. You want to know my secret, Ronnie? It's this deodorant I wear. Oh, I love it. Okay. That's an interesting story. Thank you. It's a true story. But he got tired of being the sheriff and sold his old farm and moved over here to Arkansas. And I was going to tell you that my grandpa, who come on to Texas, yeah, it does sound like an episode of Gunsmoke, yeah, but it's true life stuff. A lady sent me that information from Gallatin County. I got it out of the courthouse and sent it to me years ago. And I'd heard the story from being passed down from my dad, to us kids before, but then she sent it to me. It was all in print from the courthouse. But anyway, well, I was going to say something. It got skipped my mind. Oh, anyway, my grandpa and my grandma would go every fall on a wagon back to Arkansas to help my great grandpa, my great grandpa, through the winter, cut firewood for him and kind of take care of him and the mom, the grandma, because they were elderly. And then in the spring, they'd load up and come back by wagon to Texas and put the crops in and stay here until they harvested crops and back to Arkansas. This went on for years until they passed away. My dad was born in Arkansas, I think. Jonesboro was where my dad was actually born. It was up there one winter when I don't exactly know exactly where they lived over there in Arkansas. It must have been pretty close to Jonesboro, if that's where my dad was born, I'm guessing. So, anyway, but they had a farm there too, so I guess the old farm finally got sold off, whatever. You like my stories? Thank you, Gladys. Thank you so much. A handsome man, Ronnie. Pay attention. Thank you, Gladys. I appreciate that. My mom's named Gladys. And my aunt was named Gladys. Her cousin's mom was named Gladys. And the funny thing was, I got all these stories I don't know. My mom was German, so she's kind of big bone. Not heavy, but big stature. And cousin's mom was a little petite lady. So, and people would say big Gladys and little Gladys. Now, today, that would probably offend somebody, but nobody thought nothing about it. I'm going to go over to Big Gladys's house, or I'm going to Little Gladys's house. And nobody thought nothing about it. Today, somebody get offended because of that. Thank you there, sweetie. Cousin's name, okay, Becky. It's Alex or Alexander Curtis Morrow. That's just too much name, so we just cut it down to Cuz. I don't know if too many people really want to know his name. Once you get to know him, you don't want to know anything about him. Nah, I love him. He and I grew up together. I'm a little bit older than he is, 3 or 4 years. So I taught him basically every good thing he knows. Now the bad stuff he picked up somewhere else. But I taught him the good, and I'm always reminding him of that. And he don't agree. He don't agree. If y'all could give me 1 second, well, I can wait. The coffee pot's right there, but I need to get me another cup of coffee, but I can wait. Probably can't spell it. I can spell. I went to Plum Grove Elementary. Our school had 3 rooms. One was the auditorium. One teacher taught 4 grades. The other teacher taught 4 grades. And then they'd ship us off to Cleveland for high school, where it was a higher education. And I even had some college, Ronnie. I know how to read. Kinda. You call me. Okay, can you wait? Won't take me but a minute. Okay, just kinda. Y'all listen to Ronnie. He'll lie to you. Yeah, he'll lie. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm set. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. Yeah, I bet. I want to tell y'all a quick story. I got a email for Walter and his wife. Now, y'all don't know Walter. They live out in Waco. If y'all remember back when Lester bought me the tractor with the air conditioner, I didn't want to send Big Red or Old Blue, you know, my old tractors. They're both on their way out. They're on the way out. I didn't want to send them to the junkyard. They'd been good tractors. They've been faithful tractors. And you kind of learn, you get a love for them, but I'm not a mechanic. I'm not, you know, I can do little things, you know. But they needed major work. Walter was a truck driver, one of these cross-country big rigs where they have the escorts and stuff, you know, hauling stuff. And he was retiring. I think it was like in December or somewhere in that time. And I'd made mention on one of my videos that I'd love them to get a good home, you know, somebody to fix them up. And they contacted me. And they would love to have him. He'd fix them up. So, of course, you know, they came from Waco, a big truck trailer. And I've told y'all the story about Walter coming in and reminding G how steep my stairs was. All these years I've been lying to her, telling her they was normal. Well, they was okay when we were younger. But as your knees wear out, they get hard. I hardly ever go up there anymore. I can kind of pull myself up, but I don't go up there if I don't have to. Anyway, they come and got the tractors and visited for a while, and she has been sending little clips to me of the progress he's made. Now listen, he got Old Blue to running. It still needs a lot of work, but he hasn't had time to work on it. So he's been working on Big Red. Big Red, he has taken it completely apart. We're talking about parts all over his shop, and he's got a beautiful big shop. He's retired now, and that's his hobby. Spread that tractor out, put new seals, gaskets, and bearings, and everything that needed them. Sandblasted everything, put it back together, and painted it. He's waiting on a couple of parts. Sent me a message that they'd like to bring it down. All the way from Waco now, several hour drive, just to let me see it. Now, that's sweet. They don't need to do that because that's a long ways to go. I'd love to see it, but it's awesome that it's like brand new again. You know, like he's come out of the showroom, you know, and he's buying all the parts. But see, the thing was, I didn't know this. All the parts basically, but the tractor was made in England, I believe he told me, in England. So all the parts he's having to order are having to come from England. You can't find them here. That makes sense, because around here I couldn't find the fuel tank for it, and I had to put that lawnmower fuel tank on it. Now get this, he has saved that fuel tank just to harass me with it. Just to harass me, that's all it did. He sent a video, said, here's your old fuel tank. Had an old plastic fuel tank off a lawnmower. It worked, but anyway. I am a good butter maker, Laurie. Thank you so much for telling everybody that. I can make that butter. I can churn butter. I used to watch my old dad churn butter, watching the news, sitting there just shaking that old jar, you know. And I had built him one of these little paddle deals, you know, where you paddle, which you can buy them. I have one. But actually, I can shake it faster than I can do all that, to me. And I've taught everybody here how to make butter. I don't know if they all do it, but I taught them how. Had butter making contests here. Anyway, I'm fixing to cut this off, guys. We've been here almost 50 minutes. I'm telling you, y'all probably tired of hearing everything. I've told you everything I know, you know. Okay. No, Ronnie, Dan can make biscuits out there on the back patio if he wants to on the sidewalk. It's the way his biscuits taste, like they've been out there in the dirt. Yeah, if he brings that tractor down, if he brings it, you know, I think they post on YouTube. I don't know what would be the name. I'd have to look it up or get them to tell me. I think they may make some posts on YouTube where you can see that old tractor, the progress he's made, I think. But if he brings it down, we can make a video of it. I'll drive it around out here. But I hate for him to drive all the way down here, you know, pulling that big old heavy tractor just for me to see it. But if they do, it'd be awesome. But yeah, Cuz and Ronnie, I couldn't get you. I'm sorry. Someone said about one day maybe taking Ronnie to breakfast. I don't know, guys. I have a reputation to uphold, you know. I may want to go back to one of the places again. And if I'd went in there with Ronnie, you can't come back, sir. Y'all been banned. Banned. Like that old movie where they thought about a Woolworths. Old brother Wart there. Been banned for Woolworths. I love that show. I don't care for George Clooney, but he played a good part in that show. And the way he walked, swinging that old leg out, my uncle, Eugene, walked like that. I said, oh my Lord, there comes old, his name was Marvin Eugene. I said, oh, there comes Marvin, walking that old leg. If you ain't ever seen that show, you need to get it. You need to get it. Oh, brother, where art thou? Oh, it's funny. All right, I'm going to... Do not let Ronnie use the restroom. Yeah, Jimmy, I told you about Jimmy Goldman. Jimmy is a good man, believes in Bigfoot. Also is a ghost hunter. He sent me pictures of now, there's something wrong with Jimmy, too. Going into cemeteries at night, taking pictures. There's something wrong with people like that. I don't want to stop at a cemetery. If I break down in front of one, you're going to see a crippled old man running. But that reminded me, yeah, here we go. When I worked for the sheriff's office, we had a cemetery way back in the woods. Then I can tell you some scary stories about cemeteries. And kids would go down there parking, but sometimes someone would vandalize, you know. So on Friday, Saturday nights, you know, if we were working, the sheriff said, if y'all get a chance, make a pass through them cemeteries, and anybody down there, run them off, depending on what they're doing. Yeah. So, drive down, and sure enough, kids would go parking down there. Now, how can you go parking, you sweetheart? The cemetery. I'd be looking over my shoulder constantly. I wouldn't be able to concentrate. Yeah, we'd run them off. Anyway, okay. But Jimmy won't let, and he's known Ronnie for a long time, but he won't let him use the restroom anymore because Ronnie, he liked that toilet. He liked it, but he trashed out his bathroom. Now I don't blame the man. I wouldn't let him back in there either. He comes over here, ever come here to visit, and he's going behind the barn. Yeah, he ain't coming here. Not in my house. Not in my house, Ronnie. Behind the barn. Oh, Lori, we used to go in and park at the cemetery. Were you braver than I am, sweetie? Now, I don't mind. I'd go to our family cemetery at night. It's not a big deal. They family, they all like me. But I don't go somewhere else. All right, Texas, goodbye. Yeah, I know it's taking me forever to get out of here, right? I've enjoyed this, guys. Enjoyed talking to y'all. Yeah, that movie, Oh Brother Where, will make you laugh. You can't help but laugh from crazy people. They're a bunch of nuts. And the only bad thing, I guess you want to call it bad, which I didn't like, but is that old governor cusses a lot. But he's not in a lot of scenes. But when he does come on the scene, he does cuss a lot. But the movie is hilarious. It's hilarious. That's the only movie I've ever watched old George Clooney in that I cared for. Shouldn't say that, should I? Y'all, he may be y'all's fan. Anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. G and Kim making their last minute run. They want to go early because the store they go to, it'll get crowded, and then they make these lines kind of go all around the store, and they don't want to get caught in the line. And it wasn't much they needed, just a couple of things Kim and G was talking about yesterday they needed to get. Tomorrow night, it's Christmas Eve, we'll all meet here. I'll try to video that for you and get that to you maybe on Wednesday or one day, as soon as I can get it posted and everything. I don't know about a Wednesday morning video. Like I say, I don't know what will be going on here. I know Wednesday at noon, at lunchtime, we'll be going over to Tina's. Teresa used to hang out in the cemetery. Oh, sweetie. Oh, no. Anyway, so we'll just have to wait and see about it. I'm going to try. If I don't do anything more, just come on and I'll try to tell you, good morning and Merry Christmas or whatever. And listen, I'm telling you now, Merry Christmas, okay? I'm telling you. And I'm also going to tell you this. There's some, and I've been there, it's going to be by yourself come Christmas. Now, I'm not trying to pull you down. I don't know. I was in a service, so it was different than, being at home and you just don't have nobody with you. Just, I'd suggest, you're never alone. Good Lord's with you. But, take time and find a good movie. Make you some kind of a lunch, It's just try to enjoy your day the best you can. It's all I know to do, I know a lot of folks, churches sometimes are open on Christmas, and that's awesome. When I was by myself in the service and Christmas and I couldn't afford to come home, I didn't want to ask nobody for money because, they didn't have a lot of money. I hung out, go somewhere and get something to eat. Anyway, I enjoy our Christmas now. We're all together. You can't help but miss people that were here, don't matter if it's a year ago or 10 years ago, I still miss my mom. She always come to our little Christmas things after my dad passed. She'd always come on Christmas Eve for our little party. She'd always come for Christmas dinner. And so there'll always be that vacant seat. You know, you always see that vacant seat. You can't help but think about it. Anyway, thank you, Cheryl. That's just what I was fixing to say, too. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas, even Ronnie. Even Ronnie. I love you guys. Y'all take care, and hope it didn't bore you. And I'm going to get off here and fix Lex and Connor breakfast. Okay? I love y'all. Y'all take care. You too, Ronnie. You're my best friend. I say that loosely. Just joking, buddy. I love you guys. Y'all take care.